Now on 4 News Now at 6, multiple events happening at the same time could lead to a parking pain in downtown Spokane. What Spokane Schools is doing to make sure there's enough space for parents.
Well, it is going to be a beautiful night for football under the lights across the inland Northwest. I'll let you know how long this warmer than average weather is going to last.
And 2 pride murals vandalized, 1 queer-owned clothing store's windows smashed. Why members of the LGBTQ community say they are not surprised by these attacks. You're watching 4 News Now at 6. Let's take a live look of the One Spokane Stadium where Rogers High School football team is taking on Clarkston High School tonight. It's a gorgeous sunset and just one of the events happening right now across the street from our newsroom. All of these events could lead to some parking problems for people trying to attend. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kirsten O'Connor. Rania Kaur is in front of Spokane's newest stadium with how these different organizations are handling the parking situation. Rania?
Kirsten, the Spokane Public Facilities District and Spokane Public Schools is, of course, aware of the parking concerns, which is why they've planned for it. They do anticipate that the busiest time is going to be 6:30. That's when this Clarkston and Rogers game is going to get out, and that's when, around the same time, the Chiefs fans are going to be coming into the arena. That game starts at 7, and of course, the Lewis and Clark homecoming game is at 7:30. The podium is also hosting the Badminton World Junior Championships. However, the Public Facilities District tells me those attending are all tourists contributing to foot traffic and not necessarily the street traffic downtown. That's saying the Spokane Public Schools has informed parents of another parking lot available for tonight. That's at the Rock Point Corporate Center on Washington and Cinto. It's about 5 blocks away from the One Spokane Stadium. Spokane Public Schools says parking there is free if you're displaying the Spokane Public Schools free parking pass on the dashboard. There's also free parking in lots A, B, and D next to the stadium if you display your parking pass. Now, Public Facilities District does want everyone to plan ahead when they're coming to any of these events downtown. I was talking to some of the people inside. A lot of them got here at like 3:30 when the game was set to start at 5. They, of course, had no issues parking, but this lot did get pretty full for this game. That's saying a lot of them tell me they are anticipating some stop and go traffic when they leave. Of course, we'll be continuing to keep you updated on this parking situation. That's continuing on KXLY 4 News Nightside at 11. In Spokane tonight, I'm Rania Kaur, 4 News Now.
Thank you, Rania. And to help with traffic congestion in downtown Spokane, the city announced it is reopening 1 lane in each direction on the Maple Street Bridge this weekend. The bridge has been under construction for weeks, so the city started prep work for another construction project on the Monroe Street Bridge, and that led to major delays because Monroe Street Bridge was the suggested detour for the Maple Street Bridge, with one viewer telling us it took 30 minutes to go about half a mile at one point this week. That project has since been delayed. A Spokane County Sheriff's Office sergeant is on administrative leave under investigation for use of force. The incident happened back in August. The Sheriff's Office is not providing any details. The Spokane Police Department will handle the investigation. Sheriff John Knowles says, quote, "I trust the Spokane Police Department to conduct a thorough, complete, and unbiased investigation into the sergeant's actions and this incident." This is a developing story. We will update you as we learn more. Well, it's been a warmer than average week across the inland Northwest. Lots of T-shirts today I saw, and it's going to continue through the weekend. Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker to see just how warm it's going to get.
Well, it is going to get even warmer for the weekend. Staying in the 70s, here are 4 things to know about your weather. It's going to be an amazing weekend. Blue skies, sunshine, highs in the 70s. Then we get to early next week, and we're going to bring in some needed rain and cooler weather, but really only cooling back down to average because today temperatures were more than 10 degrees above average in some locations. It was 73 today in Spokane, 71 in Coeur d'Alene, in the 60s in Colville and Bonners Ferry, and 78 in Lewiston. Temperatures right now are still in the 70s in many locations. We're in the 60s through North Idaho, 74 in St. Mary's. skies. If you are heading out to Friday night football, expect temperatures to drop into the 60s by 7 o'clock here in downtown Spokane. In the 50s by 9, the temperature does drop quickly with clear skies, light winds, and very dry air in place. I will tell you all about the changes on the way for next week in just a few minutes. Kirsten.
Thank you, Chris. Tens of millions of airbags are now being recalled. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says models made by ARC Automotive and Delphi Automotive Systems could explode. Regulators say at least 2 people have died because of these airbags. You can check if your car is a part of the recall by heading to the NHTSA website. 3 overnight incidents, all targeting Spokane's LGBTQ community. 2 pride murals painted over and 1 queer-owned clothing store had its window smashed where a pride painting was. People in Spokane's queer community say they're hurting tonight, but say they won't let this vandalism silence them. Bronte Sorotsky spoke with those affected and shares their frustrations and fears from these ongoing attacks.
The queer community here in Spokane was hit hard. Just today, 3 separate incidents, including this crosswalk here at Odyssey Youth Movement being vandalized. Now, this crosswalk was already vandalized just last month, but people I spoke with say they won't let this hatred win.
This sucks. I literally still processing it.
Processing attacks directed at Spokane's LGBTQ community. Overnight, the Pride mural downtown, as well as Odyssey Youth Movement, were vandalized with paint.
It is just wild that somebody took the time to go up there and just paint everything, and just wondering what drove somebody to be that hateful.
When the mural downtown was first painted over the summer, protests weren't unheard of.
But, you know, I guess we should have expected this.
Another Pride mural hit was outside of Odyssey Youth Movement, a space for LGBTQ youth. That same mural and space vandalized just a month ago.
It's been in the last 6 months that we've seen this rise of hate, whether it be the presence of protesters at Pride and Perry or vandalizing the crosswalk in Odyssey's building.
Despite hate aimed at them, their doors remain open.
And we will continue to maintain that safe space.
The same goes for Atomic Threads, a queer-owned clothing store that had its window smashed in this same time period. On that window, a pride painting. Just like these other 2 incidents, this wasn't new for them.
Even just having pride flags up, it can be viewed as political.
The store's co-owner says these recurring instances of hate are exhausting.
It's really frustrating when your sheer existence is being politicized, when it's just like, I just would like to live and be who I am and feel safe and comfortable.
Amid these attacks, these safe spaces will remain open, dedicated to serving Spokane's queer community. Just keeping in mind how quickly they can become a target.
And unless you step up and show LGBTQ people in your own life that they are welcome, they are here, they are supported, and they belong here, the vandalism will win.
Spokane police are currently investigating both mural vandalisms. It is unclear if all these crimes are related. Reporting in Spokane, Bronte Sorotsky, 4 News Now.
Still ahead, it's been 3 years and the city of Malden and Pine City are still rebuilding after they were destroyed by the Babb Road fire. Their advice to survivors of the Gray and Oregon Road fires next on 4 News Now at 6.
4 News Now on your time with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Save your dreams!
Did you know Idaho high school seniors graduating next spring are eligible for up to $8,000 in grant money for career training and education through Idaho Launch? Funds can be used to cover the cost of apprenticeships, job training, community college, and university programs that lead to in-demand careers. Funds are limited. Apply today. Students choose their own path, and Idaho Launch helps pay for it. Idaho Launch. Support in every direction.
Rugged, capable off-road travel, adept at towing heavy loads, the completely redesigned Nissan Pathfinder has all the features buyers are looking for in a full-size SUV. Check these features: seating up to 8 with easy access 3rd row, cabin noise reduction, super smooth 9-speed transmission, towing up to 6,000 pounds with 284 horsepower, classy upscale design, and 2-tone style. There's lots more with this Pathfinder. Find out at Coeur d'Alene Nissan, just off Highway 95.
Real ID requirements for travel go into effect on May 7th, 2025. When flying, you've got options. Now's the time to make sure you're covered. No judgment, we all procrastinate. But now you have time to get things done. Replacing that smoke detector battery, dusting off that treadmill, returning those 7 emails. It's time to take on those things you've been putting off and turn your to-do list into a checkmark party. If you're planning to fly after May 7th, 2025, you'll need one of these approved options. Time flies, and so should you. What are you waiting for?
Tony, your parents know you're over here again, right?
Yep.
Great.
Tony lives next door. See, his parents decided to just use their phone for home internet. So when everyone is on, Tony's over here streaming and drinking all my soda.
My dog.
Get internet on the Xfinity 10G network for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract.
We're going to bed, Tony.
Good night. I'll lock up if I leave.
Get real home internet on the next generation 10G network only from Xfinity.
Travel, there is nothing like it. Dancing is my passion. But with my moderate to severe eczema, it hasn't been easy. Now, I'm staying ahead of it.
Dupixent helps heal your skin from within, so you can have clearer skin and noticeably less itch. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. Ask your doctor about Dupixent.
That's terrible. No community should have to go through 158 days to have that type of designation awarded.
That's the mayor of Malden talking about the city's experience with federal funding following the Babb Road fire 3 years ago. That fire completely destroyed the city, burning 85% of buildings in the area. As Oregon Road and Gray Fire survivors wait to see if Governor Inslee's request for federal funding will be accepted, the community of Malden says they can relate. Marissa Rio is there and shares some insight the city has for Spokane County.
To this day, Malden is still rebuilding. As you can see behind me, they're working on construction for their new post office and fire department, which both burned down in the fire. The mayor here tells me it took over 150 days for the city to ever receive any kind of federal funding.
The Babb Road fire destroyed 67 homes, but the mayor says that wasn't enough to receive individual assistance.
We did not qualify as we did not meet the federal quote threshold, which needs to be changed.
While Malden did receive funding for public assistance, that money was designated for buildings such as the city's post office and fire station.
When you have families that have lost 100% of everything they own, everything is gone except the land that they live on, that is a true disaster. That should be the tipping point of what a disaster is for individual assistance.
But waiting nearly 5 months is a long time.
You know, federal funding, you have to jump through a lot of different hoops for the qualifications and documentation that they need to approve those funds, and that is a lengthy process.
As for housing, the city heavily relied on donations from organizations like Innovia, who officials say are still helping the Malden community. But that too requires some patience.
People don't see visually things happening, but there's so much work going on behind the scenes to make these things come to fruition.
Both the director and mayor say they understand it's tough to wait, but to trust that emergency management and organizations like Innovia are really there to help. Reporting in Malden, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
A beautiful Saturday ahead. High temperature of 77 degrees. Air quality in the good range. Some patchy fog to start the day, but it won't be around for long. I'll be back with the second half of your weekend forecast, and I'm tracking some wet weather for early next week. That's after the break.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by R&R RV.
You've been hearing about it, and now we've got it at Post Falls Volkswagen, the ID4 electric SUV. This SUV has a space, warranty, technology that buyers want at a price that's competitive. The ID4 was engineered to win the hearts of SUV owners ready to go electric. with a quick charge and an EPA estimated range of 260 miles.
The Volkswagen ID4, now eligible for a $7,500 lease credit.
The ID4 electric SUV, see it at Post Falls Volkswagen.
Thank you for getting groceries, Mika.
Of course. Happy to help. Will Medicare cover any of these bills?
I thought it would, but it doesn't.
We'll get through this. I will always be here for you.
I know. But what about you? I don't ever want you to be in this situation.
Don't worry, Dad. With WA Cares, I'm earning long-term care benefits with each paycheck. That money will be there when I need it.
Find out how the WA Cares Fund can help.
This Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, save thousands on hot tubs and swim spas in front of Costco on East Sprague. Over 50 hot tubs, swim spas, even used spas are being liquidated. Free delivery, special financing in front of Costco on East Sprague. Don't miss it.
It's some of the biggest mattress savings of the year and your chance to improve your sleep for less during the 4-day holiday sale this week at Walker's Furniture. As all the top name brands of Serta, Beautyrest Black Hybrids, and the popular purple mattress sets go on sale. Plus special 5 years no interest financing with no money down is available. So you can start sleeping better right away and pay for it later during the 4-day holiday sale this week at Walker's.
Next DT, I had your dolls. A Taylor Swift and NSYNC collab, only we're with Joey Fatone. Plus, on set with Jamie Foxx and at home with country mama Kimberly Perry. Next DT.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
What will happen when Michael Strahan leaves the studio and enters the ballroom as a guest judge for Dancing with the Stars?
Come on, Stray, you gotta bring the heat, baby.
Just watch as it all starts this Tuesday morning on Good Morning America.
What a gorgeous Friday evening. Hopefully you're heading out to do something fun or have some plans this weekend. I don't know how much longer we're going to have weather like this. We'll get a little break from it. We'll have some nice days ahead, but right now it's still 70 degrees in Spokane. Sunset is coming up in just a couple of minutes. Currently in Coeur d'Alene, it is 66 degrees. We're headed to an overnight low in the mid-40s, a little above average. Areas of patchy fog, a possibility, particularly in some of the sheltered northern valleys. 77 for a high tomorrow. East winds 5 to 10. That fog will not be around long. Not quite into the serious fog season. Ridge of high pressure over the northwestern United States. It is strong and is going to continue to build through the first part of the weekend and even into Sunday before we start to see some changes as we get into Monday. And Monday will be our transition day. It's still going to be warm. We may start the day off with some sunshine, but then the clouds increase and we have a chance of rain by the afternoon. Tuesday, an even better chance of wet weather. And these are subsequent systems, not one big system moving in. Another one on Wednesday giving us a chance of rain, and there will be some breaks in between that wet weather. We'll be able to time those better as it gets closer to the work week. But right now in your 4-day forecast, we see a little fog tomorrow morning. Then those clouds start approaching by Sunday at 11 o'clock. Here's Monday at 4, and this latest run of the computer model is a little bit different than the one that we showed you at 5. We got some fresh data in, and it has this wet weather coming a little more slowly into the region. Tuesday, we have another system coming in, so we'll be keeping an eye on that. Right now, these are some preliminary forecast rain totals, and they're not especially impressive in eastern Washington, 1/4 of an inch at the most. But as we get further into the mountain areas of North Idaho, down on the Palouse, any of the upslope locations, we're looking at anywhere from 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. Hopefully that's not too optimistic. It'd be nice to get some wet weather going. As I mentioned, Monday is a day of transition, so we're still going to be up in the mid-70s. This black line right here, way down here, is our average high, which will drop into the upper 50s by this time next week. We're going to dip into the 50s Wednesday, but then we start warming right back up, and indications are we may have some warm weather beyond that. Overnight lows tonight will be down in the 40s and 50s in most locations. High temperatures tomorrow could hit 80 in downtown. Most of the rest of the region, however, will be in the 70s. Around the region, 80 in Grand Coulee, 85 in Lewiston, 80 in the Tri-Cities, and we'll be in the 70s through North Idaho. Your 7-day forecast, that rain moving in late in the day on Monday into Tuesday, more showers on Wednesday, and then we dry out as we get closer to the end of next weekend, and we also start warming back up. So this is not necessarily the end of our pretty fall weather this weekend, although it's not really very fall-like, more like summer weather. It might be the end of our summer weather, Kirsten. It'll have some fall weather in the forecast.
I'm still loving it because the leaves are changing so beautifully right now.
It's gorgeous. Yes.
Thank you, Chris. Well, this is normally the time of year we watch those nighttime temperatures, especially if you have plants that you want to keep from freezing. This year, though, the first freeze is taking its time getting here. New at 6 meteorologist Matt Gray is tracking how much longer we could be waiting.
And I spent a lot of time today looking for where we've already seen freezing temperatures this fall. It took me a really long time, and that's because not that many people have seen them so far. The Met Howe Valley dropped to 29 degrees earlier this month, but almost everywhere else has not hit that magic number of 32 degrees yet this season. And in fact, a lot of us, as you can see in your map here, not even close. In Spokane, this Sunday is the average first day for a first freeze, but there's basically no chance of that happening as you look at our forecast. The next big cool down, that's not even going to get us down towards where we would be average. You see, so far this fall, when it has been cool out, it's also been pretty cloudy. The clouds, they insulate us from cooling off as much as we would on a clear night, acts like a little blanket. And so far, places like Deer Park, Chewelah, Sandpoint, Bonners Ferry, all way past the average date for the first freeze. Spokane, we're going to join them as well here in just a couple of days. But the question is, when will we see that first freeze? Are there any indications? You know, and normally I have some sort of answer for you, but I really don't know this time, at least when it comes particularly to the Spokane Metro. The weekly climate computers, what I've had behind me here, really trending warm, not just next week, but also for the rest of October and potentially even into early next month, warmer than average weather. And it's all a part, at least a little part, of how climate change is affecting us here in the inland Northwest. But even though we may be waiting a while for our first freeze, hey, your plants will probably be pretty happy with that.
You might still get some veggies out of it.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you, Matt. Well, still ahead, protests over plans for a new pickleball facility in Sandpoint. Why these protesters say the city is strong-arming the community.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Kayaking is my thing.
Running is awesome.
But her moderate to severe eczema would make her skin so uncomfortable.
I was always so itchy, especially when I was hot.
Now my skin doesn't itch as much.
Now we're staying ahead of her eczema.
There's a power inside all of us to live our passion, and Dupixent works on the inside to help heal your skin from within. It helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema, so they can have clearer skin and less itch. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor.
Healing from within is a wonderful thing.
Ask your child's eczema specialist how Dupixent can help heal their skin from within.
My dry eyes made me a burning, stinging 5 times a day.
Makeup smearing, drops user.
I want another option. That's not another drop.
Tyrvaya, it's not another drop. It's the first and only nasal spray for dry eye. Tyrvaya treats the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease fast by helping your body produce its own real tears. Common side effects include sneezing, cough, and throat and nose irritation.
Relying only on drops? Not me. My own real tears are my relief.
Ask your eye doctor about Tyrvaya.
Trucks, great trucks, and great offers. Find them at Wendell Ford during our truck month. Ranger, Maverick, and America's most purchased truck, the F-150. Built Ford tough. Low rates, special financing, and generous trade-in assistance await you. Some with 1.9% financing. These trucks are ready to move. It's Truck Month at Wendell Ford at the Y on North Division. Drive for generations.
Ford News Now is brought to you by End the Violence.
Well, new at 6, in this upcoming election, people in Newman Lake will once again be voting on whether to approve an increase in the levy that funds the department. Natalie Grant is breaking down what's at stake here. Natalie?
That is the Newman Lake Fire and Rescue Department that's asking for its residents to restore a levy, which is already in place at the district, saying as costs increase for everyone, they're feeling the pinch to provide their community with adequate emergency services. Now, on the November ballot, voters will be asked if the regular property tax levy of the district should be restored to $1.30 per $1,000 of true and assessed valuation, lifting the levy lid from 1% to 6%. Now, to put it in perspective, if you own a home valued at $300,000, you'll be paying $390 in taxes per year. That is a $153 increase from the previous levy. Now, the Newman Lake Fire Chief says right now with the 1% levy, they're already operating in the red with a bare bones crew and just need this money to keep their doors open and their staff paid.
So we're really asking our citizens to maintain the current level of service that we have, and we want to continue to provide that good service.
Now, he says if this levy is not approved, it could lead to cutting staff and volunteers. If approved, he said this could even open up the possibility to add staff on nights and weekends to make sure the community is served at all times. Now, this is now the third time that the fire district has tried to restore this levy, with it failing in the 2 other attempts. The most recent being back in August of this year, when more than 50% of the district rejected the request for $1.40. Now, if you'd like to learn more about where this money would be going, we have those resources listed on our website, KXLY.com. Reporting in studio, Natalie Grant, 4 News Now.
Thank you, Natalie. Sources tell ABC News former President Donald Trump apparently shared potentially sensitive information about the nation's nuclear submarines with a foreign businessman 3 months after leaving office. Mr. Trump's team is not denying these reports, but claiming he did nothing wrong. ABC's M. Wynn has more.
Shortly after leaving office, Donald Trump allegedly revealed potentially sensitive secrets about U.S. nuclear submarine capabilities with Australian billionaire Anthony Pratt, a member of the former president's Mar-a-Lago club, according to sources familiar with the matter. Those sources say Pratt then shared the information with at least 45 others, including more than a dozen foreign officials, several of his own employees, and a handful of journalists.
Anthony is one of the most successful men in the world, perhaps Australia's most successful man, as they say.
Trump's disclosure allegedly took place in April 2021, just months after he left the White House. Sources say Pratt told special counsel Jack Smith's team about the discussion as part of the investigation into Trump's handling of classified documents. Pratt said to describe the interaction as Trump leaning towards him as if to be discreet and allegedly sharing 2 critical pieces of information about U.S. submarines, the supposed exact number of nuclear warheads each usually carries, and how close they can supposedly get to a Russian submarine without being detected. Sources say Pratt told investigators Trump did not show many documents, but the account could help prosecutors during trial establish a habit from Trump of recklessly handling classified information. A Trump spokesperson says what ABC News was told lacks proper context and relevant information, and that Trump did nothing wrong. Pratt has yet to comment.
Smith's classified documents case against Trump, who's charged with 40 counts of unlawful retention of national defense information and obstruction-related offenses, goes to trial in May. The information about Pratt's alleged conversation with Trump not included in Smith's indictment. Em Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
Community members are coming together to clean up trash and graffiti in the East Central neighborhood. Coming up, why they say this has to be a joint effort.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see.
Don't need glasses? See us for your contacts and save on your annual supply.
With every load secured, every cigarette butt that doesn't go out the window, every fast food bag that arrives at its proper destination, and every time we politely say, hey, there's a better place for that, Washington gets a little cleaner, a little safer, a little more breathtaking. Because small choices add up to a home we can all be proud of. We keep Washington litter-free.
It's time for 4 News Now's Coats for Kids. Just drop off new or gently used coats at any of our sponsored locations. We'll bring them to Alsco for professional cleaning, then get them out to local children in need. Donate to Coats for Kids through October 31st.
Chaz Health is proud to sponsor 4 News Now Coats for Kids. You can drop off your donations at one of our medical clinics and be sure to ask for your annual flu shot. Donate your coat at any of Chaz Health clinics through the month of October.
It's a 4-day 4-wheel drive sale at both Cal locations. As Cal loads up the lot with tough, loaded SUVs and trucks, and for 4 days only drops their prices by $400.
Plus, giving you an extra $400 for your trade-in.
And $44 down is all you need.
When you live in the beautiful Northwest, then you better own a 4-wheel drive.
And today through this Monday, it's the best time to get a new 4-wheel drive at Cal.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see.
Schedule your comprehensive eye exam at shopko.com or bring in your outside prescription.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
In Sandpoint, park advocates have chained themselves to a tree. They don't want a proposed pickleball and tennis facility at Travers Park. This is day 2 of the protest, and the protesters say they're not going anywhere and that the public should have a say in this decision. Jordan Smith met with those protesters today. He's in Sandpoint with the story.
This is a park that's enjoyed by parents and kids alike, especially on days like this. But with these proposed tennis courts and pickleball courts, the city would have to come in and tear down most of these 30-year-old trees that you can see here behind me and bring a total makeover to the park. And that's exactly what Molly McCann and Rebecca Holland are hoping to prevent with this protest.
Locked in around a 30-year-old willow tree are 2 people fighting to preserve it.
Maybe they're going to, come and
put a stop on this.
Saw through this thing, which you can't do with bolt cutters, just so you know.
For nearly 24 hours, she's been here, sharing her passion to save 20 trees planted back in 1985 from being ripped out for a new pickleball and tennis facility slated to be built on Travers Park. McCann says the city has strong-armed community members overriding their concerns of the facility's location.
We're here because the city has made a significant decision to remove this entire playground area and all the mature shade trees in this open park space without the public's input or consideration or inviting them to the table.
But the city planner, Jennifer Stapleton, says they've done their due diligence and met with community members. They say Travers Park was picked for its central location to multiple schools and senior centers. They also plan on adding 60 trees to the area with this development to replace the 20 that they're taking out. But some trees serve a larger purpose than providing shade, like for Monica Gunter, who tells us the park is named after her father.
My father, my sister, and my grandmother their ashes are all spread here under that maple tree right there that's going to come down and it's going to be covered in concrete, and the city doesn't even care about it.
She's frustrated. Decades ago, the park was built under the condition that it would remain an outdoor sports facility, a nod to her father's commitment to youth sports. She does support a new tennis and pickleball facility, just not at this park.
That's what we would like to see. Just leave this park alone, build this beautiful donation tennis facility on another piece of property, and everybody would be happy. They'd still get tennis, we'd still have our park, my dad's name would still be on it. That's what we would like to see.
In Sandpoint, Jordan Smith, 4 News Now.
Thank you, Jordan. Live look over the stadium this evening. Beautiful night for some football or anything you might have planned. A great night to be walking around downtown or wherever you may be. 4 things to know about your weather. The weather is going to hold through a beautiful weekend. A lot of sunshine, blue skies, and summer-like warmth. We're going to be seeing temperatures in the 70s, rain and cooler weather on the way for next week. Here's a look at our temperatures right now around the region, and we are still at 70 at the airport in Spokane and in Spokane Valley, 69 in downtown and Liberty Lake, and in the mid-60s for Post Falls, Hayden, as well as Coeur d'Alene. Overnight lows tonight will be dropping down into the 40s in most locations, and but then we warm up nicely for Saturday. We're going to be into the 70s and near 80 degrees, warmer than today, and it looks like we might be even a little bit warmer on Sunday. Here's a look at your weekend forecast. Blue skies and sunshine with high temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. Overnight lows in the 40s. Winds will be light. Air quality in the good range. And then we're going to bring in some rain starting early next week. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Chris. We now know what caused the seaplane crash that killed Sandy Williams, the former executive director of the Karl Maxey Center, and her partner. The National Transportation Safety Board saying a failure of a critical flight component caused the crash near Whidbey Island last year. Investigators say they found pieces of the plane were disconnected, which would have made it impossible for the pilot to control the plane. As the city of Spokane works to solve the ongoing graffiti problem, it's now asking for the public's help to reach the goal together. The Community Cleanup Day was happening in the East Central neighborhood today. New at 6:30, Peter Choi explains why a joint effort is necessary to help with the graffiti in the city.
I'm in the East Central neighborhood where volunteers are painting over graffiti right now, and they tell me it's sad to see a major eyesore just across the city, and they said it's important for community members to come and fix this issue together.
Picking up some trash in some areas that the city has requested some need, doing some paint.
On Perry Street and 2nd Avenue in the East Central community, the wall is getting a new coating.
Yeah, because I'm just about done here, then I'm going to start on that, so.
The Spokane native Kevin Van Hug volunteered with the city for the first time. He says there's too much graffiti popping up and he wants to be part of the solution.
People don't think Spokane City is going so well. Well, what better way to try to improve that image by getting out there and volunteering, and perhaps maybe it inspires someone else to do the same.
Partnering with local community leaders, the city chose the East Central neighborhood because of the sheer volume of recent new graffiti.
I think it creates a lot of ownership in their own community, in their own neighborhoods, to say, hey, this is my street, this is my neighborhood, I'm going to go out and help.
For park users near the side, as a positive image.
You know, you walk around even this park and there's a lot of garbage at times, so it's nice to see that somebody's, cleaning it up and making it better. They're doing a good job, I think, here at Liberty Park.
The city plans to hold another cleanup day next Friday, asking the public to join in downtown. You can find more information about volunteer opportunities on our website, kxly.com.
I think where citizens can come together, community members, and unite for a common cause, yeah, that's a great point. It alleviates the burden on the government, and perhaps they can tackle other programs that we'd like to see come into our community.
In Spokane, Peter Choi, 4 News Now.
The Washington State football team has landed in Los Angeles. The keys to victory for the Cougars as they get ready to take on UCLA tomorrow. Coming up next in sports.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Washington Cares Fund.
Tony, your parents know you're over here again, right?
Yep.
Great.
Tony lives next door. See, his parents decided to just use their phone for home internet. So when everyone is on, Tony's over here streaming and drinking all my soda. My dog.
Get internet on the Xfinity 10G network for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract.
We're going to bed, Tony.
Good night. I'll lock up if I leave.
Get real home internet on the next generation 10G network only from Xfinity. Did you know Idaho high school seniors graduating next spring are eligible for up to $8,000 in grant money for career training and education through Idaho Launch? Funds can be used to cover the cost of apprenticeships, job training, community college, and university programs that lead to in-demand careers. Funds are limited. Apply today. Students choose their own path, and Idaho Launch helps pay for it. Idaho Launch. Support in every direction.
When I was first shopping for cabinets and countertops, I went everywhere. From the big box stores to shopping online, when one of my friends recommended Northwest Granite and more. From the minute I walked in, I was greeted by their friendly staff and was shocked with how many different products and styles were available to me. They measured my bathroom, my kitchen, and gave me a customized look just for me. I would highly recommend Northwest Granite and more. They truly are the best.
Fred's has the latest Samsung kitchen appliances in stock and on sale. Save up to 15% when you bundle 3 select appliances.
Samsung bespoke models let you customize the look of your kitchen with a huge variety of colors to choose from.
Choose from gas or electric ranges in a variety of colors and styles.
Need a new dishwasher? Samsung dishwashers have dual wash arms and a rotating spray jet to clean even the dirtiest dishes.
Stop by your local Fred's Appliance and see the latest in kitchen appliances.
The wedding crasher who can't stop herself.
We pulled the video from the church, and there she was.
Next, Inside Edition. She was accused of stealing gifts from all these brides and grooms.
We did not invite her to the wedding.
Now cops say she's done it again. Then, the driverless taxi phenomenon. Is it coming to your city next? Watch the next Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
Oh, it is Friday, and we made it up to 73 degrees today, almost 10 degrees above average, but more than 10 degrees below the record of 84. Not that unusual to have temperatures in the 70s in October. I want to take you back to October of last year, which was unusual, and unfortunately the record books don't quite capture what it was like to go through October of 2022. But I was looking back at these numbers because I do remember we did not have a fall. It went from summer to really almost like early winter in a blink of an eye. As you can see, but this week last year we were in the 80s. Today, this week so far, 74 has been our warmest. We were in the mid 70s, 76 on the 1st and 2nd, 80 on the 3rd and 4th, and close to 80 right on through the first full week of October. Then we stayed in the 70s through the second full week of October, well above our average high in the lower 60s and upper 50s. The 70s kept on going all the way through the 19th, and then one day in the 60s, which just feels more like fall. And then we were in the 40s and low 50s through the rest of the month. And our trees did not like that, especially with those overnight lows coming in. We never had the chance for the leaves to fall. They froze on the trees, and we lost a lot of branches, and it was a mess. Rose bushes hated it. We're still going to be recovering from the damage from that quick switch to winter for a few years in some of our gardens. Our temperature trend over the next 7 days is not as dramatic. We are going to be above average, not in the 80s, 77 Saturday, 78 on Sunday. We'll stay in the 70s on Monday, and then drop down to just a little bit below for a day, and then a little bit above through Friday, as Matt talked about in the last half hour. No real sign of a freeze coming in the next several days, and our temperature trend in the 8 to 14 day forecast, a very strong trend toward above average temperatures. Precipitation has been a little flaky. We are sandwiched in between. Looks like Neapolitan ice cream. We've got a little bit of brown over here. We're in the gray through the heart of the inland Northwest, and then the green just to our west. So could go either way. My hunch is that we're going to be fairly dry. We do have a chance of some wet weather as we get into Monday, the second half of the day. Latest computer models have it more toward the evening. More rain chances on Tuesday. That looks like our best chance to get some wet weather, and then lingering rain on Wednesday before we dry out heading into Thursday and Friday. And next weekend also looks beautiful, but maybe a little more fall-like in the 60s, which is fun sweater weather. Go to Green Bluff. Feels like fall. Looks like fall now. May feel like fall next weekend.
I think that the bump as a pregnant lady is going to enjoy
the 60s sound better than the 70s?
I think in my current state, yes.
Wow, you are a trooper. You are hanging in there regardless of the weather.
The better. Thank you, Chris. A new study found women still have a tougher time getting a promotion compared to men. ABC's Andrea Fujii breaks down the numbers and how you can help support your coworkers.
For women in the workforce, it's not the glass ceiling holding them back. It's a broken rung on the corporate ladder. That's according to a new study which found women's careers are often hindered early on.
So we are making progress at the top, but it's slow, and people ask why.
Lorena Yee is co-author of a new Women in the Workplace report. She says one big challenge for women is getting promoted out of entry-level jobs. The study found for every 100 men promoted from entry-level to manager, there were only 87 women and 73 women of color. Men also outnumber women at the manager level, 60 to 40%. Researchers found men were more apt to be judged on their potential, whereas women were more apt to be judged on their track record.
We see fewer and fewer women at every stage. Part of it is that we've been losing them from the very first step.
The study also found women are twice as likely to be interrupted and hear comments about their emotional state.
Let's say you see another woman being interrupted, or someone taking credit for an idea. You have to interrupt that bias at the moment it happens.
When it comes to pay, analysts found Hispanic women earn 64% as much as white men. Black women, 70% as much, and white women, 83%. But there is encouraging news. Women now hold nearly 30% of top management positions, up from 17% back in 2015.
We know that women do the hard work. They also need to bet on their own potential. And what this year's report is saying is that a lot of the factors are there to achieve that.
Experts have some advice for working women. Embrace your ambition and speak up to advocate for fellow females. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
Here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
BECU's Free Shred and E-Cycle event is back. Members can bring their sensitive documents for free shredding and dispose of old electronics safely. BECU will also collect cash, food, clothing, and household items. Visit becu.org/shred for more details.
This is your season to smile with Aspen Dental dentures or implants. To gather together and discover the moments that matter. To jump into the fun and join in the celebration. To help get you ready, your Aspen Dental team is celebrating 25 years of affordable care with an epic anniversary savings event. Don't miss enjoying a moment with $500 off your denture or implant care. Whichever option you need, our team of experts is ready to help guide your decision and start your journey. Aspen Dental. Book today.
This Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, save thousands on hot tubs and swim spas in front of Costco on East Sprague. Over 50 hot tubs, swim spas, even used spas are being liquidated. Free delivery, special financing in front of Costco on East Sprague. Don't miss it.
Dear road rivals, you may have 4 wheels, headlights, and a similar build, but our resemblance ends right there. You see, the Camry's been named best-selling car in America. But cheer up, wannabe twinsies. If you try harder, maybe you can catch up. Later, Toyota.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan with roadside assistance. Visit your local Toyota dealer to learn more. Reserve yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Spokane and North Idaho's country leader.
Drinking watermelon moonshine.
Coyote Country.
It's a 4-day 4-wheel drive sale at both Cal locations. As Cal loads up the lot with tough loaded SUVs and trucks, and for 4 days only drops their prices by $400.
Plus, giving you an extra $400 for your trade-in.
And $44 down is all you need.
When you live in the beautiful Northwest, then you better own a 4-wheel drive.
And today through this Monday, it's the best time to get a new 4-wheel drive at Cal.
BECU's Free Shred and E-Cycle event is back. Members can bring their sensitive documents for free shredding and dispose of old electronics safely. BECU will also collect cash, food, clothing, and household items. Visit becu.org/shred for more details.
4 News Now is brought to you by End the Violence.
Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into sports. I'm Julian Minensone. Now, what do these quarterbacks all have in common? Well, they all play in the Pac-12, and they all are early candidates for the Heisman Trophy, college football's most prestigious award. But one of these is not like the other, and that's Washington State quarterback Cameron Ward. You see, Ward wasn't expected to be on the Heisman list at the start of the season, but he has proved a lot of doubters wrong. He has thrown 13 touchdowns and 0 interceptions this year. Ward has led the Cougars to an undefeated record in the number 13 ranking, and he will likely be key if Washington State wants to stay unbeaten when the Cougs take on UCLA on Saturday.
I think it's all been natural, especially more confident from a year ago. I mean, the guys look at me a different way than what they did last year. I look at them a different way, but I feel like the biggest thing with this team this year is just that we accept each other for who we are. No one has egos. Everyone just want to come in, get their hands dirty, work each and every day, and go put on for the Cougs.
Now, Ward sits just outside the top 10 in Heisman odds. Ward and the Cougs will kick off at noon at the Rose Bowl on Saturday against UCLA. Idaho is also in action this weekend. The Vandals will take on Cal Poly on the road. Cal Poly's head coach is Paul Wolf, who is the former Washington State and Eastern Washington head coach. So the Vandals, they're red hot right now. They're the number 3 team in the country, and they'll look to keep it going against a familiar face from the Inland Northwest.
He's an experienced guy in this league, and I've met Paul a few times. I don't know him really well, but I know his work well, and I think he was one of the forefathers kind of getting Eastern Washington rolling, and and that continued then with Coach Baldwin and Coach Best. So he's a very proven coach in this league who knows how to win in this league. I think he'll do a good job down there.
Kickoff of that one is at 5 o'clock. On Saturday. Now, Saturday is for college football, but tonight it's all about those Friday night lights. High school football is underway across the Inland Northwest, right across the street. Rogers hosting its homecoming game against Clarkston at One Spokane Stadium. Rogers looking to bounce back after last week's loss. The crowd was ready for homecoming, but the Pirates sadly were not. Colby Bogle throws it deep, but he throws it right into the hands of the other team. Nathan Sommers going all the way back for a touchdown for Clarkston as Rogers finds themselves down 13-0. So that means time to regroup, right? Well, after this celebration right here for Clarkston, Clarkston is going to celebrate once again. The throw, nope, not today. Another interception for the score. It was all Clarkston so far in this one. At last check, they lead 33-6 in the third quarter. Of course, we'll have an update tonight, and make sure to tune in to Friday Night Sports Extra tonight at 11 o'clock. We'll have all your high school football highlights from around the Inland Northwest. That'll wrap us up for sports.
Thank you, Julian. Fall is in full swing with the leaves beginning to change. And if you're up for an adventure, head out to Ferry County. There you can find a rail trail that's a perfect place for a bike ride or a hike, all while taking in the fall colors. Let's head out there in this week's Air for Adventure.
Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Win big at Spokane Tribe Casino this October in the Jeepers Creepers giveaway. Win cash prizes every Thursday and drive away in a 2024 Jeep Wrangler Sahara at the grand prize drawing on Friday, October 27. Only at Spokane Tribe Casino. You just win here.
Ever wondered why you didn't receive an alert during a nearby emergency? To be contacted about a situation near your home or workplace and to receive automatic notifications, register at alertspokane.org. Alert Spokane issues all emergency notifications in Spokane County. Messages are sent via landline, cell, and voice over internet phones, via text, TDD, and email. Learn more and register at alertspokane.org. Language options available. Don't be caught off guard. Stay alert. Stay safe, Spokane County.
If you've got pain, we have the product for you at Mother's Covered Nutrition. Curamin is an award-winning pain formula for one reason. It works, and its all-natural ingredients are proven safe and effective. You don't have to suffer when you can have real pain relief without risky side effects. You can get Curamin at any of our 4 Mother's Covered Nutrition stores in Spokane, Spokane Valley, and Liberty Lake.
Mother's Covered, things that make you feel good.
This is a great opportunity to recognize the people who are behind the scenes doing the work.
STCU's Volunteers Count showcases people who volunteer.
There's just so many people that need so much help.
This grant that we just received is going to be such a blessing.
This is quite an honor. It will help so many people.
Tell us about a volunteer who inspires you. Go to KXLY.com/volunteerscount and nominate today.
Thanks to STCU and News 4 for doing this. It's amazing.
Spokane's homeless plan is not working. In the last 6 years, Spokane's homeless rate has nearly doubled, while the U.S. rate barely increased. And while many unhoused persons genuinely need a helping hand, others have accelerated Spokane's problems of crime and open drug use. Similar-sized U.S. cities don't have these problems, but Spokane became home to the largest homeless camp in the state of Washington. Why Spokane? Hear the answer at curingspokane.com.
The all-new Bet Ahead feature is now live at Caesars Sportsbook, located inside Spokane Tribe Casino. Make your picks online from anywhere before you place your cash bets. Only at Spokane Tribe Casino. You just win here.
4 News Now is brought to you by Post Falls Volkswagen.
Coming up tonight on Nightside, our team will have all your weekly sports highlights tonight at 11.
Can't wait for that, and can't wait for this weekend. Boy, we've been talking about this since Monday. I know. And here it is. With 70s and sunshine.
That's how you get through the week quickly, is you just... Monday is the start of weekend planning.
Yeah, yes, it is. And I still haven't quite nailed it down.
I haven't either.
Possibilities are endless.